Want to have your clip featured in the Skyrim Clip of the Week? Simply record the clip on your Xbox and then send it to me via message. My gamertag is iRyanI, that's IRYENI, and then you can message it to me over Xbox and I'll be able to view it. I look forward to seeing the clips that you guys send me. Now moving on to the video. Hey, what's up guys, it's Ryan, and welcome back to another episode of Modded Monday. We're on week number 245 now, guys. I've picked out 5 new mods for you guys to check out and perhaps add them to your load order if you find them interesting. But like always, before we jump into them, I want to remind you guys that I'm partnered with GamerSupps, which in my opinion is the best energy drink on the market. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, be sure to check out the link in the description where you can go to their store page, and you can also use the code RTD for a 10% discount on all your purchases. I also want to say, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any brand new mods each and every single week. Now that all that's out of the way, we can jump into this week's mods, and starting us off we have a very simple mod called the Bandit Lines expansion. Now the mod page reads, are you tired of hearing the same old bandit lines over and over again? Well, this mod adds over 500 new splice lines to bandits, giving each bandit prototype their own personality and making each of your encounters with them feel more unique, personal, and unexpected as well. With these 500 new lines that are not shared between voice types, each encounter will feel extremely unique, and it'll be very noticeable whenever listening to their idle dialogues. So you won't just hear that same old boring voice line, just one more gold haul, that's all I need. You'll be hearing way more than just that. You know, there's way more that these bandits have to talk about, and they may talk about betrayal, gold, missing their families, hating Skyrim, loving life as a bandit, or even being ashamed of being a bandit. Being jealous, resentment, greed, addiction, infidelity, home, lustful encounters, what drove them to become a bandit. They may even talk about being hungry, the tragedies that went on in their life, having mouths to feed outside of their bandit life, and more. These are just a few examples here. And these aren't just idle conversations that you'll hear, because as for combat, there's loads of hidden conditions and surprise lines you'll hear too. Bandits might react differently whenever you're aiming a bow or sneaking near their camps. They might comment on your weapon, your armor, the material of your weapon, your gold that's in your inventory, your sex, your race, the time of the day of the encounter, the location, your level, the reaction to you using shouts in combat, and also you killing their allies mid-combat too. The list goes on with the examples here. One of my favorite things about this though is they actually react whenever you kill their companions, because if you walk up into a bandit camp and you wipe out like 80% of them, the other ones just don't even seem to care. But now these bandits have reactions, and whenever you're going in and killing a bunch of them, it's also possible that some will just give up and start running away, which I feel as though is a lot more realistic than them just seeing someone brutally run through the entire camp and then thinking they can take themselves head on. And this is all done in a tasteful manner where the mod creator's hope is that 90% of the time, you won't even realize that the lines are coming from the mod, which I think is really cool. You know, these are all taken from other NPCs that have the same voice type and added in such a way and spliced together so that it actually feels like a genuine sentence. It doesn't feel like a robot with a bunch of, different voice lines over each other. It's actually made to actually sound realistic, and it has a perfect and seamless way of doing this. So let me just give you a little bit of an example here.
The orc did frown and bid the elf goodbye, for none could know 'twas not for show, and someone had to die.
Never do another span and stick to it, Ed. Die and give myself
away from. You should be cautious. Good advice. Harry, let me take care of you. Maybe just this once.
Now, as you can see, there's tons of new things that you can hear whenever you're exploring caves, and it just makes it feel like whenever you enter a bandit cave, it's not just one bandit talking to themselves, there's a bunch of people interacting inside the cave, and it actually feels like these bandits are actually working together instead of all just on their own, which is what it seems like in the vanilla game. So if you're looking to have a way more immersive experience whenever you're clearing out bandit camps, or maybe, you just want to go into a cave and actually make it feel like a real place, then the Bandit Lines expansion is definitely a mod I'd recommend checking out, because like I said, it does all of this seamlessly, and it just makes the bandits seem like more real people instead of just robots that you have to stumble across and kill. And that's definitely why this mod's featured here at a number 5 spot, so I'd recommend downloading it and giving it a try for yourself. Coming in at our number 4 spot, we have an absolutely huge overhaul to the city of Markarth, and this is the Way of the Dwemer, the reloaded version. Now, I know a couple weeks back we also covered another Markarth city overhaul, but this one completely blows it out of the water and makes it feel like a true Dwemer city. Up to the point where the second you enter Markarth, or even anywhere close to it, it completely feels like a brand new expansion and feels nothing like the original Markarth. Now, the mod page reads that the Way of the Dwemer is a full-blooded immersive overhaul of the Reach exterior and Markarth interior city that reflects a lost age of stone and metal. There's also a new player home, new guards, new NPCs, and plenty of treasure to find within the outskirts of Markarth because of all these ruins that are just structured alongside of it. And then you also have the interior city, which has a much more complete structure with backstories of how the middle and upper class tiers came into being. This mod is also fully nav-meshed with LODs, and it provides the best visual experience ongoing for Markarth, but it should be noted that it's not compatible with any other exterior mods for Markarth, as it could probably be assumed because of just how much this mod changes, but I really like how they kept the original, bottom floor of Markarth. It's the vanilla version, and it doesn't really have too many changes there, but then you get up to the upper tiers where there's kind of a second floor to the entire city, which features more of a player home. There's, more NPCs to interact with and more things to do, but it also doesn't change any of the interiors, so any of the buildings that you go into inside of Markarth will look exactly the same. It's more so just an exterior to make it feel more like a Dwemer city, and whenever it comes to the vanilla city of Markarth, I'm going to be 100% honest, and it's probably the town that I travel to the least in Skyrim. But this actually makes it feel like its own landmark. It's not just a regular, another city that you're going to travel to. This is a special city that has, aspects of it that are featured nowhere else in Skyrim. So this is a one-stop shop to completely transform Markarth, and I think it's absolutely incredible. So if you already like the city of Markarth and you're maybe just looking for an upgrade, or maybe you thought that Markarth was pretty lackluster in the vanilla game and you're just looking to completely transform it into its own actual location in a beautiful city, then the Way of the Dwemer, the reloaded version, is definitely a mod I'd recommend checking out because it does this perfectly, and it actually has great performance as well. Whenever I saw this from the outside, I thought, wow, I'm going to walk into one of these buildings and it's totally going to crash on me, but that's not the case. This mod was definitely performance friendly whenever it came to even our huge load order with 150 mods. I didn't have any stutters, no crashes, no nothing. It worked perfectly, and it just makes the city of Markarth all around better, and that's definitely why this mod's featured here at our number 4 spot, so I'd strongly recommend downloading it and exploring this city for yourself. Coming in at our number 3 spot, we have a brand new animation mod pack that transforms all of the animations that you, as well as other NPCs, do in the game, and this is the Pretty Sassy Animations Bundle mod. We're using the less Sass version because I feel as though the Fabulous version was a little bit over the top and doesn't really fit too well, but this less Sass version adds tons of new animations, and it's a full mod pack with a ton of different animation mods. For example, we have the Sassy Vampire Bow animations, two-handed animations, non-combat animations, as well as Pretty Sit Idols, Pretty Combat animations, new jump animations, magic casting animations, immersive interactions, and there's animated actions as well, so whenever you pick locks, pick up items off of tables, and other small, interactions with the world, there's animations for that as well. We also have the Sleeping Expanded mod, which is a mod we covered in a previous Top 5 mod episode, so we already know about that one, and that's included here. You also have something that's really awesome, the First Person Animation Replacer, which changes what your hands actually look like, because a lot of animation mods also just change the third person and don't actually make it so that your hands in the first person actually look any different than the vanilla game. This mod changes that. It makes it so that the new animations that you're doing in third person actually reflect what you're doing in first person too, and I really like that. And you may feel as though some of these animations are a little bit more feminine, but I actually did that kind of on purpose because in a way we always cover animation mods on this channel that are fit for male characters. And that's good and everything, but we also got to show the females some love too, so I feel as though this is a more so female animation mod replacer, but it can work with males. It just kind of looks a lot different than, other animation mods that we've covered in the past, but I feel as though it's perfect for a female character. There's tons of different badass animations that you can do, hands on the hip, that type of thing, or the sword over the shoulder, and the running animation when you have a sword out looks absolutely badass as well. So whenever it comes to animation mods, if you're looking for a one-stop shop that's just going to be one download and you won't have to download any other animation at all, then the Pretty Sassy Animations bundle, the less sass version, is definitely a mod I'd recommend checking out. But if you want to go even more over the top, there's also a fabulous version, or it's just called FAB, and it's the same version of this bundle, it just includes even more animations on top of that, so you can completely change every single animation that you as well as other NPCs do in Skyrim, and I absolutely love that. But like I said, this is more of a feminine version, so if you're playing as a male character it may not look right, but if you do want to try out playing a female character and have some new animations that are completely badass and just completely change what you do in Skyrim, then this is the mod to go ahead and do that, and that's definitely why this mod's featured here at our number 3 spot, so I'd recommend downloading it and seeing what your character is now capable of with these new animations for yourself. Coming in on our number 2 spot, we have a mod that's going to truly enhance your immersion in Skyrim tenfold. This is the LW add-on, The Animated World. And the mod page reads that this replaces a number of static objects in Skyrim with animated meshes and textures, and so much more, because this is a huge mod pack. And this is one of the first of many mods in the series of add-ons for the original Living World mod. And the mods that are included inside of this bundle here, we have the Animated Clutter mod, the Animated Embers, Just Scrolls, the 1K texture, Water and Wells, Steaming Hot Soups, then you also have the Volatile Void Salts, the Dusty Vampire Dust, the Surreal Spriggan Sap, the Still Beating Hearts, Eerie Ectoplasm, Icy Wraith Teeth, the retextured Pulsing Daedra Heart, retextured salts with effects as well as fire and frost salts, and so much more included into this one 46.53 megabyte mod. But the one that's the most impressive out of all of these here is the Animated Clutter mod, which is featured in all of my load orders and we've covered in the past several times. And if you haven't heard of the Animated Clutter mod, it's basically a mod that makes it so anything that you go into, whether it be, you know, a satchel, a knapsack, a barrel, any type of container that you open, will actually have its own animation now instead of just instantly opening. You know, whenever you go to open up a sack that's in a cave, it'll actually have an animation of you rustling through it. You know, whenever you go to open up a barrel, the barrel's top will actually come up and slide to the right or left, as well as other things like chests and just different things that you can access. You know, anything that has an inventory on the inside of it that you can take loot out of will now have its own unique animation of you rustling through and opening it up for yourself. And I think that's incredibly immersive, but not only does it add that, that's actually just my favorite part of this mod pack, it adds so much more. You know, like the animated embers that are in fire, you know, they have way better textures around them. The scrolls now have their own textures with the Just Scrolls 1K retexture, so any type of scroll that you have on a table will actually reflect what the scroll actually does. Say it's a soul trap scroll, it'll be like a purple glowing color. If you have, you know, a different type of healing spell, it'll be more of an orange or a yellow. And then you have the Steaming Hot Soups, which is like if you have, you know, in an inner tavern, you have the soups that you can have on the table. It's a very small detail, I know, but the different types of soups that you can have and other types of food that are inside of bowls will actually have a steaming animation coming off of it, just so it looks like it's hot. And then you have water in wells, instead of just, you know, whenever you jump up on a well and look down it's not just dirt or it's not just black, you actually see water in there, and it's just a little bit more realistic. And then whenever it comes to the different ingredients that I named earlier, such as the Void Salts, Vampire Dust, Spriggan Sap, Daedra Hearts, Ectoplasm, and more, they just have their own animations whenever you're holding them in your inventory or whenever they're sitting on tables, because they should have their own animations because of just the power that's behind them, right? So this just has so much realism built into it, but they're very small tweaks, and that's definitely why the LW add-on, Animated World, comes in at our number 2 spot, so I'd strongly recommend downloading it. Coming in at the number 1 spot this week, we have a huge mod pack that truly impresses me with how many mods can fit into one small 13.51 megabyte mod. And this is the Dishonest Day's Work mod, and the mod page reads that Skyrim makes it hard not to be a sneak thief, so we may as well accept our fate and join the guild. This bundle is primarily gameplay and quest mechanic changes, but also includes a few other tweaks, new quests, and even a new follower as well. And whenever it comes to the mods within this mod pack, I'm going to try to cover as much as I can, but there is so much to cover here. But starting us off, we have the following Mercer, which is the Thieves Guild quest mod, which adds 2 new quests that'll lead you through 9 new dungeons, which are 5 large and 4 small in a variety of styles, containing enough loot to make up for those 25 years of profit that Mercer stole. These quests are started by reading a note on Mercer's desk in his hidden basement in the Riftweald Manor. So just starting off with the first mod in the mod pack, you have 9 new dungeons to explore and 2 new quests to do as well. But moving on, you have the realistic pickpocket chance, which just increases the max to 99%, so you could be a true master pickpocket. After that, you have the Thieves' Night on the Town mod, which is a very small mod that features the ability to pick the hold in which jobs will be in. You can also launch all of Vex's or Delvin's jobs all at once, or in a given hold, which I think is really cool. Instead of having to, travel back and forth between the Ragged Flagon and your objective, you can actually just pick a bunch of jobs all at once and do a major sweep, and then return it all at once. Following that, you have the Crime Overhaul, which means that guards are less inept, and getting arrested is less cumbersome, accidental attacks are more forgiving, and the Thainship is more rewarding. So you won't just end up wasting your Thainship on just accidentally attacking a chicken, or, accidentally picking up an item on a table whenever you're trying to talk to someone. Thainship is a lot more rewarding and actually can get you out of trouble a lot better now. You also have some crime overhaul fixes, stealth kills for followers, which allows you to tell your followers to kill an enemy silently, so you can actually stay in a sneaky position instead of just having Lydia charge into battle and alerting everyone inside the cave. You can now stay silent with your followers instead of leaving them at the cave entrance. Moving on, we have the Khajiit Steel 2, the Caravan Fence option. So in a way, you don't really have to join the Thieves Guild to sell stolen goods if that was your main drive to join the Thieves Guild. You can now just wait until the Khajiits spawn outside of your town that you're living in, or maybe you just stumble across them in your travels. You can now sell your stolen goods to them, so you can no longer just be carrying them all around until you eventually end up joining the Thieves Guild. And then after that, you have the Create Hidden Wilderness stashes, which allows you to create stashes anywhere outdoors with no equipment needed. So whenever you start the game, you'll have a spell in your Powers tab, which allows you to just create a cache anywhere in the map, and you can store items there, and then you can later return to them and pick them up if you become over encumbered by chance. Next up, you have the Hide Spots mod, which allows your character to hide in a bunch of different containers. As you can see in this little showcase here, I pickpocketed from a jeweler and then I ran away and hid inside a barrel, and that actually worked a lot better than I thought it would. And this is just a very, very cool mod to use if you're simply just trying to, do some petty thievery and you end up getting caught. This is a perfect way to escape the guards whenever they're hot on your tail. After that, you have the Thief in the Night mod, which is a story-driven treasure hunt style quest mod that allows you to follow the trail of a master thief and unravel his elaborate scheme, taking you all throughout Skyrim. So if you're a treasure hunter and also a thief and you just want to really dive in and make some money and, look for treasures in Skyrim, this is the mod pack for you. So this is just a couple of the mods that I named, but there's tons of more included all in this 13.51 megabyte mod pack. There's so many new abilities and things that you can do as a thief with this mod, and it truly transforms your stealthy characters, and that's definitely why this mod's featured here at #1 spot. So I strongly recommend downloading a Dishonest Day's work and becoming your true thieving character that you've always wanted to be. So that's pretty much it for this week's episode of the top 5 Skyrim mods of the week. Hopefully you guys did enjoy, and if you did, I'd appreciate it if you left a like and subscribe if you're new. It really helps me out a lot. And if you have any suggestions for mods you'd like me to cover in future top 5 mod episodes, be sure to let me know in the comment section below, or you can follow me on Twitter. I'll be sure to leave my Twitter in the description, and you guys can follow me on there and leave me suggestions there as well. Special shout out to my Patreon supporters. Thank you guys so much for everything that you guys have done for me. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Hopefully you guys did enjoy, and I will talk to you guys later.